Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to another episode of Novice Painting with the Novice Painter, Jimmy Novice. I am Jimmy Novice, the Novice Painter, and you're probably wondering why you can't see me right now. Well, there's a perfectly logical reason for that, because I am emulating today's subject. John Cena. So, see, you're probably wondering, we've had some issues in the past. Sorry, jumping off screen there. And now, this was not the plan originally. Someone who shall go unnamed, but who does prefer fermented grape beverages, saw that the pile of shirts in the corner, sitting there for a week next to the box that said donations, was part of said box of donations. It certainly wasn't, and it got shipped off to who knows where. She couldn't even remember, so I rushed on down and, this was the best I could do. I know it's, Juan is John. John he probably does have deer on his property. He probably has a sprawling, beautiful estate with plenty of deer. He probably has more than one deer, and as a matter of fact, he probably has plural. It could say Juan's deers. And he actually did. See, let me show you. We talked about in the last episode, but we decided which of the John Cena logos we're going to do. Which of the many John Cena's logos we're going to do. Now, see, as a matter of fact, if you can see back here, let's see, where was it? It's like, where's Waldo? Oh, see, actually, there's a better one over here on the other side, I think. Oh, there we go. See, it's right there in the corner. See, it's supposed to be like John Deere. And so, it works. I like it. It's a little roomy, too. And then, see, this is the one we're going to do. See, that's the one we're going to do today. So, I got all the colors I need. I know that, John Cena's a very controversial figure in some aspects, it's hard not to be when you're, super famous and stuff. So, we all make mistakes sometimes, and I'm sure many of you know what I'm referring to, but regardless, we're all human, and maybe some of you are hate watching. That's okay. But this is a unique episode too. Say hi to Peanut Butter, she's back. You may notice I've got a little guard there thing, because we want to get paint on her, so we're going to start off at the bottom. Remember, from the bottom to the top, from the bottom down here, that's what we're going to do. So, obviously, if you do remember the logo I just showed you, which is obviously like black, it's basically just 4 colors, which you can see here. This is like, I think it's called Always Bet on Black. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like if they had the rights to, or, like a Wesley Snipes promoted paint, maybe they would probably call it Always Bet on Black, but this is regular black, just black. But it would be cool if they could call it like Black Hole Sun. That'd be fun if they had the rights to Soundgarden music. But see, we're getting real globular. Hopefully this is going to be enough for this whole thing. This is the biggest one we've done since, we did the overpaint, which I'm going to start calling it an overpaint. Ooh, look at that. It's kind of fun. It may take a lot to get some good coverage on here, but as you can see, I did get some higher quality paints right there. No mixing required. I did need some help picking the colors, because that's why this is kind of fitting, this episode, with the idea of you can't see me, because I kind of have a little bit of a problem there. It requires me to wear the nickel thick, not nickel back, but nickel thick contact lenses. So I'm just getting willy-nilly, and you can see Peanut Butter's bobbing her head. She's having fun. And I'm laying it on real thick. I want great coverage. I want 5G coverage. I don't want 4G LTE coverage. I want 5G coverage here, folks. Yes, you know, I mean, people make mistakes, and John Cena's no different. I think I'm gonna have to get really glad there and hold this thing, but it's getting a little out of hand. So put that sucker over there. Yeah, we're just gonna get down on it. Let's see, make sure we get these edges. Which, you know, it's funny, edge, because edges, that's one of John Cena's most storied rivalries. We can get into that later, but see, I wanted to actually start with a blank canvas. We can probably remove your little protective thing there, peanut butter, get it off there, okay? Ooh, look at that. See how dark that is? It's the blackest night. I mean, it reminds me of The Dark Knight, which is, yeah, obviously Michael Keaton's my favorite Batman, but like I said before in the previous episode, but you know, Christian Bale is a close second there. It's a very close second. But yeah, it was, I remember it was my birthday, and my dad, he was supposed to get me, he said he was gonna get me the Dark Knight Blu-ray Deluxe triple DVD digital Blu-ray 4HDK special bonus director's cut edition deleted scene extravaganza, and he got his movies mixed up. He got me The Black Knight with Martin Lawrence. Like, I mean, I like some comedy now and then, but that was kind of towards the tail end of Martin's heyday there, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it definitely was, the plot of Black Knight was much easier to follow, I'll tell you, than The Dark Knight. I'll tell you that much. It's much easier, a lot shorter too. It's probably like a full hour shorter. So I may have actually gotten the perfect amount of paint here. This is very exceptional. See, that's the risk you take, you know, if you get, this is bargain basement novice painting supplies, you know, it gets the job done. That's what we're just trying to do. Getting good coverage with this black. Always bet on black. That's what Wesley said. Passenger 57, check it out. It's a good 90s movie. But yeah, I'm getting way off track here. I'm supposed to be talking about the man himself, Mr. John Cena. So, yeah, this guy, you know, he's, like I said in the last episode, it's like, if there's one thing you can guarantee, it's, you know, he's there for the most underprivileged you can get in life, essentially. The darkest of days, and he lights them up. So, I mean, you know, he's gotta get some respect where it's due, I guess. Now, this stuff, I told myself I was gonna blow like on every stroke, but that plan did not pan out. But I think these other paints are actually quite, they might be really actually pretty good to get on top of this wet paint and just lay there and, you know, just make it work. But so that was a lot quicker than I thought. That worked out pretty nice. But of course, as always with this easel, we're getting crazy here, getting crazy essay. So the nice thing is we're only really gonna have to sort of rinse a couple different brushes because we're just basically using like 2 different brushes. Well, 3 total with this one, but there's only 2 other ones because it's basically just line work, some circle work, and then some letter work. So it should just move right along pretty smooth. But this sucker is wet as the dickens, man. So I'm getting paint on my Juan Deere shirt. Dang it. That's okay. I mean, I was lucky I got this one. I mean, I ran down like almost immediately down to the nearest thrift store that she remembered. She said she remembered like blue letters and stuff. And I know which one you're talking about. Sorry, people, gotta help me out here. So she's like, yeah, go to that one. I went to that one. And, I mean, obviously, they must have went like hotcakes because the lady there remembered, she remembered a bunch of John Cena shirts being dropped off. And I was expecting I suspected that she probably took them for herself. She was like, I love me some John Cena. I gotta have these. Oh well, at least they'll most likely go to someone more in need. See, look at that. I'm gonna make sure I get that before I flip it completely here. So, I don't know how that happened. I thought I got pretty good. I think it was my thumb. It's usually the thumb. This is very thin sort of board here. Hopefully that didn't throw off the balance. I'll have to check that out because it was quite an ordeal to get it level in the first place. So just let me check this out. Yeah, so that's nice. I mean, obviously you can see some strokes in there, but it's basically dry. Like sort of, just mostly even. It's a dry even. So I went into, they went like hotcakes. These John Cena shirts, and of course I'm probably gonna find them on eBay over the next few weeks. They'll be probably popping up on eBay there, so. But somebody could probably use it more than I could, I don't know, so. She did get a receipt, so I can write it off on taxes, so. It only came out to like $20 donation, but every little bit helps there. So I'm gonna try to get some of this paint off this one. Actually what I should do is use this my soapy freaking water. Oops, getting dripping all over. That was a lot though. That's water is, there we go, that's okay. I got most of it, but I just want to get to the sucker dry. So I'm actually wearing jorts too. That was one of the early things that kind of, where myself and John, I felt like we had a kinship, was through jorts, Of course, I didn't have actually any jorts, so I cut some. You can barely see, but I cut the legs off. So, and that's what many people. That's where John can be controversial. Some people say in the wrestling business he sort of figuratively cut people's legs off because he wanted to be the best. He wanted to be the best there is, the best there was, best there ever will be. Word life. So. He never actually said that thing. That was first to hit my heart. But he sort of had, him and Hulk Hogan, they had the same attitude. And I'm sure people were like, if you tuned into this episode, you pretty much know what I'm talking about. Because who's going to tune into John Cena episode unless you're a wrestling? Well, I mean, I guess you could be a big Peacemaker fan. Maybe you're a Marine fan. Who knows? The original Marine. He should redo the Marine with the star power he has now. Shucks, that'd be huge. So I'm just gonna cover it up real quick. So got really crazy with the black here. But we needed to make sure. Yeah, see, there we go. That's nice. All right, so that works because it's got a nice even coat there. I don't see any white specks at all. So hopefully this water isn't too filthy to frickin' clean the other brushes, because it's like ink. It's like squid ink or something. Yeah, there was some controversy, of course, last year, I think it was. I don't know, it seems like years ago at this point, with the way everything happens, seems like so fast these days. It's like 1 second Doctor Strange, It's in the theater, and next thing you know, it's like a month later, it's on Disney Plus, like, just like that. Oh, sorry, peanut butter, you're taking a nap over here. Come on. There we go. She's back. She's back. Hopefully I'm standing back far enough so I don't have to squat too hard. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna blow on this a little bit. Help me out, peanut butter. Come on. Because I'm real nervous of laying on any paint and smudging. I don't see any white specks, so that's good. We don't want any salt and pepper thing going on here. We don't want a Jay Leno canvas or something. Many of you may never know, or never knew, or will never know who Jay Leno is. Maybe at this point, you probably just think he's that guy with the big chin that really likes cars a lot on YouTube, but he's pretty funny though. But yeah, so, he made that mistake. I'm not going to repeat anything that was said, because I don't speak that language, but, it's like my sister. She's awesome. She's awesome, but she made a mistake too. When she was supposed to be babysitting me. I was only like 4 years old. She was supposed to be babysitting me, and, well, she never came home. She was too busy hanging out and hairspray in her hair and listening to Bon Jovi or Poison or whatever. I mean, she was supposed to be there to watch me, so I was just like, screw it. I'm just gonna go up. I rode my big wheel all the way, my Knight Rider big wheel, all the way up to the country club where my mom was at. I got a Coke and a Kit Kat. It was worth the drive. It's worth the drive. So, just gotta check this out. So, hopefully the light's not blurring that or whatever, but so, we're gonna start basically by doing the green border around the You Can't See Me. And we'll continue with that green with sort of that arc sort of thing up there. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna set this right here. I can refer to it. Again, I hope this is dry enough. I'm kind of stalling it. You probably can tell. I'm just real worried. This is thick. It says it's got great coverage. I meticulously planned this out, but things happen. It's gotta roll with them punches. I told you, I roll with them paint punches. I'm still working on that lavalier mic too. They said they do have the lavalier mics at Dollar Tree, but those are that's risky. It's risky business messing with a Dollar Tree lavalier mic there. So we need plenty of room for the docks and the other line. So we're gonna keep this pretty far inside of the entire canvas, this line. It's actually much more narrow and in the middle than I thought, so now let's see how this goes. I can't lay my fingers on this because this is, oh man, let's check the level. Oh man. Yeah, it's nice, it looks grainy, it looks like asphalt or something. You could do something with that in the future, so. All right, this is moment of truth. If this messes up, we're just gonna have to cut short and wait for part 2 because these things are becoming multi-parters. I was in my mind, I was thinking maybe 30 minutes, one shot painter. That was in my head for a second, but it was like it quickly turned into epic territory. So, all right, so it looks like pretty good coverage, but obviously this is really thick paint. It's really thick. You need a lot of this green, but see, it would be a lot easier if it was dry because then I could rest my hand on it. So things can get really tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky. Okay, so this is the biggest challenge we've had so far, but it's worth it. Okay, see, I almost mistook the angle there. I was gonna. Okay, so, it's moving along. We're just gonna have to go really meticulously slow with this. This is, you look at that thing, some graphic designer could whip it up in no time. So we'll go ahead and use this as a spot where we're gonna go ahead and curve down there. So hopefully we can do this. Okay, see? It's a little bit of Juan Valdez, a little bit of nerves, it's... Obviously I started off the show with my voice all jacked up because someone decided to take my John Cena shirts to Goodwill's or Savers or wherever the heck it is, not a sponsor. They do have some good thrift paintings. That's what I was thinking about, a new segment in the future where we showcase thrift store art, but stuff that it's not like something they just bought from Hobby Lobby or Pier 1 or something and just donated it. Like something that they really, maybe there's a weird story behind it, Let's see. That's actually dried pretty well there, so I'm actually putting my hand, see? Oh wow. Now the longer you keep it on there, the more it kind of gets a little sticky, but it's just going pretty good though. It's, in my mind it's like, no, it's not like that. It's definitely not like that. But these paints, these are like just much higher quality. These are like the Grey Poupon of paints. I'm not really good with brands. I've heard of Bear and, some other ones, but those are like house paints or something. Alright, so I may not have left enough room at the top, but there really is enough room because it doesn't have to be exactly like John Cena's shirt. I don't even remember when he wore this shirt, really. I just kind of liked it because it was, there's no way I'm drawing John and in this position or that. That's insane. This is novice painting, not master class painting. It's keeping this mostly straight. See, and that's just the fun thing. It's just like I could use some tape and I could get really just precise with it. But that's not the point. That's not the fun part of it. You want it to look like a painting. Okay, I'm doing the right color. We've made many mistakes live in the past, but it's sort of the charm. At least in my head, I'm just positive spin, like always. So I feel like I'm probably too close. I hope. I don't need to see my mug, so I don't need me to see my ugly mug, so it's okay. My head's not showing. See, this is a new paint for me. This is new. Now it said you can, obviously, like I said, you can add water to it, but see, I want like a dimensionality to things, a texture, a layer. If you've followed along at all in this show, you know how we feel about textures here, right? Peanut butter, we want texture. Okay, I went a little wider over to the side than I thought, but that's actually good because there's a lot of sort of unused and blank space. Yeah, that's fine. Because then there's going to be like these circles along the side. Okay, so it's moving along, but geez, this is and it's definitely got, the last one, whoosh, the overpaint, that turned out to be like 5 hours. What? That was like George Lucas's first draft of Revenge of the Sith. This is really, talk about viscous or globular. This stuff, it was born globular. Okay, so we don't want to end up going too far. So, I guess it's mostly level, I think. I think maybe it tails off a little bit down there toward the end, but so we want to make sure, we'll go about another 1/2 inch, I guess, and we'll start bringing that one down. So again, we'll try to just keep it rolling. So this black dried a lot faster. I saw it. Okay, so we need to start bringing that down. I think I went a little bit too far over. Sorry if my back's all up on your grill. So, okay, that turned out pretty good. So, yeah, see now I was a little worried, but it's okay again. I mean, this is novice painting. It looks better when it's not perfect. We don't want perfect here. Now it says great coverage, and I mean it really is. But this is, since we're doing such a small line, a thin line here, it's a thin line between love and paint. Haha. Could be a t-shirt. Surprise Michelangelo or Leonardo or somebody, not Donatello, or some other artist that's not named, a Ninja Turtle has the name or whatever. So one of them should have probably have said something about the thin line between love and paint. But of course there wasn't that movie with Janet Jackson and Tupac hadn't come out yet back then, so I mean there's no way they could have put those together. So alright, so you're probably laughing, saying, "This is so crooked." Now I'm kind of laughing too. So we're on the same page. Alright, so again, we could have taped it off. We could have did a lot of things. We could have. But again, this is a challenge because it's like, how do you draw pencil lines on black? You can't draw pencil lines on always been on black. I mean, it's almost like as dark as that stuff, Vanta black, Vanta, V-A-N-T-A. It's supposed to be like the darkest black in the world, which like absorbs 99.8% light. And then they came out with a different one called like Musho black. And that one blocks, I guess, 99.9%. It's like those hand sanitizers. They block 99.9% of germs. Okay, that's flowing. I'm gonna step back over here to this side. I could imagine there's probably maybe a slightly more efficient type of brush that would do this, but again, it's okay. It's okay. This is very, very meticulous. This is like, it's like the plot of Dark Knight. It's like, how did you not get blown up by the freaking cell phone stomach bomb and in jail? You're like 10 feet away and it messes up all the cops. What, did Joker have a bomb-proof vest on underneath his regular vest? His purple vest? Well, at least this thing is like the longest line. And otherwise I have what's, I guess it's called a filbert brush that can do the letters. With like a rounded sort of edge to it. So, because yeah, it's like the letters have rounded edges. So I may have even gotten too much green, but actually once we're really deep into that paint with the filbert brush, be laying that sucker on thick. Alright, so obviously this could use, it says excellent coverage, but when you're fighting through, when you have the darkness coming through, it's strong. But yeah, John Cena, he's pretty much what got me back into wrestling. After Stone Cold and The Rock were pretty much gone, we used to do a lot of Stone Cold and Rock's moves as teenagers, and we ended up with a lot of bruises and like bruised tailbones and bruised egos. Some nearly broken necks here and there possible. Luckily, no. So, yeah, because one time I was really like, I'm gonna do a stunner on you, dude. I'm gonna do a stunner, dude, on you. Come on, let's do it. So I was like, and he faked it, I didn't really kick him in the stomach. And then boom, he just grabbed his head. I dropped down, friggin' slid off the mattress, hit my tailbone on the mattress, the bed frame, and the force drove his chin into my collarbone, which nearly broke my collarbone, nearly broke his chin, he almost spit his tongue. Like, this stuff's real, man. This stuff's real. What the heck? Okay, so we don't want to go. So I'm sacrificing down on the knees here. Tell people how you doing. She's improving of this. She's really going somewhere. I like where it's going. Now I'm trying to sort of estimate. This is sort of the best I can do, folks. This is bare bones. Bear Grylls with me. Okay, so maybe like a half an inch, we'll bring it down and we'll start curving that. And that'll at least establish the bottom line. The bottom line's what do you know? Things are just meant to freaking happen, apparently. It's got real globular there, but it's okay because you'll probably end up putting more on there once it's drier. So you don't have to experience that. That'll happen in the deleted scenes as I sit there in my Barcalounger and watch it dry. It's quite therapeutic, I tell you. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this around. One curvy here. Got a Cal Naughton Jr. that. Okay, there we go. So that's pretty good, I think. See, there's space down there, so it really is mostly sort of what do they call it? The ratio is right. See, it's actually really good. See, you can't see me right now because it really plays into the episode. So it's like, okay, it's enough. I preferred his first song a little more than that one. It was called Doctor of Thugonomics. Definitely not a doctor of political science. I don't even know, but that's just kind of what popped in there. But he used to have some cool names. Well, his moves were like he was in a rivalry with that guy, the Beast Incarnate. He was Brock Lesnar, yeah. So he had such a rivalry with him. He hated him so. John Cena hated Brock Lesnar so much that his move Brock Lesnar's move was the F5. So it's like, you know, it's like an F5 tornado or hurricane. I never even really knew for sure if he was referring to a tornado or a hurricane, because the guy would spin and he would slam them like while they're spinning in midair or whatever, or drop them. It actually looks like it hurts him more because he's like dropping straight on his back. It's like, I'd rather drop on my front than my back, because you can, you know, it's like, it seems like you can protect yourself a little more, prevent your head from hitting the ring. But he hated this dude, Brock, so much that he named his move the FU. He's like, and he did it in a rap song too. It's like really innovative and stuff for the time. It's like now you got everybody rapping on SoundCloud and stuff. I don't know even that's the same anymore. I haven't heard anyone say that word in a long time. That's the first time I've heard it. And I just said it. That's the first time I've said it in a long time. See, I don't imagine this voice fading away this episode. Still thinking about those John Cena shirts, man. They were bordering on vintage. They were in great shape too. I never dried them. I mean, I barely washed them in the first place, so it was like, you would have thought I just bought it the day before. I mean, in some cases. Okay, so this I gotta get to right vantage point here too. Alright, so we're gonna come on down with this line. There we go. So yeah, it's like John Cena got me back into wrestling. It was just right to sort of when they were finally getting to HD. It was so annoying. It's like I had an HD TV, and there was like no HD channels. It's like only news channels. It's like I don't need the news in HD. I could just listen to the news, quite frankly. I mean, at that point, it was like, screw the news altogether. Still feel that way, you know, like most people, but it's like even 2 or 3 years after getting HD channels, my dad still insisted on watching the standard one. So it's like, look, you just gotta go up to the hundreds. Quit watching down in the teens, man. Look how much better Brian Williams looks in HD. I mean, I don't think he looks good at all, but I'm just saying, it's like, it's clear. You can see the pores, you know? That was what everyone was going crazy about. It's like, you can see their pores now. We can see their pores. Yay, I can see Eva Longoria's pores. Eva's porias. Eva Longoria's porias. You can see how bad ref calls were in sports. You're like, dang, I mean, what would have... It's like, how many titles would, you know, freaking the Portland Trailblazers would have won if, you know, they had instant replay like they do now. I mean, how can you not win? You got Scottie Pippen, Stacey Augmon, you got Steve Smith, Arvidas Sabonis, Bonzi Wells. Sorry, we're talking about John Cena today though, so. Boom. Oh, look at that. Whew, that was like doing one of those mazes as a kid, but it was like an easy one, but it's just straight up, just a rectangle basically. Phew. Now that is crooked as heck, but it's all right. It's quite all right. So we're gonna try to do. All right. So actually, I'm gonna flip this over because there's more space down here because there's actually a couple lines. No, we need more space at the top. Yeah, we need way more space at the top. So I'm gonna do those. Just checking it out. They're sort of like almost. I don't know, it just looks like a rounded sort of, it's like a rectangle, I guess. It's not really a shape I'm familiar with here, but let's see what we can do. I'm just making sure, do they attach? Okay, so they don't. So this is gonna be kind of tricky. Just a little tricky. Just not a lot tricky, just a little tricky. So when you see what I'm doing, you're probably thinking, well, that's quite simple, but this has been a lot more challenging than I originally imagined. All right, so I might have to get my big red head in the way, so just want to make sure it's mostly even. Because we're getting carried away. We're going downhill there. Figuratively and literally. So that's not too bad. There we go. It's gone. It's gone. Alright, this takes supreme concentration just for that little dilly-dally dollop of destruction, whatever you want. Alright, so just gonna try to lay it on thick and just scroll it down. Bring it down. Lay it on thick and bring it down. Alright, yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. It's like, what's going on? If you already forgot, or you're just now tuning in, it's like, what's going on? What's this guy doing? Yeah, John Cena. He did, I kind of like, I thought Rock had some good movies, but I think Cena has a little, kind of outdone himself there with some recent productions there. Gone are the days of, I remember growing up with No Holds Barred and Suburban Commando. Let me tell you, Peacemakers, definitely no Suburban Commando, and I'll tell you that, or The Nanny, but Suburban Commando is actually really good. See, I was such on a roll, and it just pushed me back into the. So I was thinking, I was just thinking at the pawn shop, like how, she told me I was just like 10 minutes away, 10 minutes off from buying my own shirts back and popping the tags. I had $20 in my pocket. I think it probably would have cost more, because it seems like they only have the red tags on sale. And the red tags are like, stuff you don't really use that often. It's like wedding dresses and quinceañera dresses and prom dresses. You'd think those wouldn't be on sale. Those would be like a premium sort of price. Then I saw this and I was like, yes! I looked out. They have the John Cena shirt. Of course, I'm not going to dress up thematically for every episode. That's just not realistic. Now, the next one, I will be telling you, at the end of this one, what will be coming up next. There we go. This goes on really well. It's actually very pleasing. Very pleasing to the senses. To the consensus. It's really getting deep in that black. It's really good, solid coverage. I'm not afraid to just jump in and just do it, because it's just some solid coverage. We could maybe even call it sort of, maybe we're in the future. This is 6G coverage of me. I'm just getting way too into those green arches. It's actually turning out pretty good. You'd be, wow. It's quite a representation. So, the next one, sort of This is kind of like an arch. An arch over the top here. It's like a half arch. It's not a full arch. Don't go full arch. You can't go full arch. Okay, maybe it's mostly a full arch, but see, we want it to wrap over and around, and then we're gonna do 2 lines of, it's light magenta. I mean, there's no way I would have been able to mix light magenta together. I've been changing ratios so much, I'd have like a half a gallon of paint. And that's definitely not how much we need. It's way too much. Gotta keep the integrity of the arch. I think it goes down a little bit more, but okay, see that really thick there. Really thick. This is some of the thickest stuff I've ever, well, I mean, this is only 4th episode, so I haven't worked with a lot of paints. We're getting real thick with this one. We're getting down with the thickness. This stuff, it seems like it would stay moist for days. I don't see pudding skin getting on these suckers. So you can see they have a very nice sheen to them. Sort of, it's very glossy. It doesn't say what the finish is. It doesn't say if it's a matte finish or a glossy finish. It does not specify. This black is definitely glossy though. Obviously, because it's like it still looks wet, but it's not. It's an illusion. It's very illusionary. Okay, I want to make sure. Okay, so I have to get over on this side. It'd be nice if I was ambidextrous or left-handed like John Cena. I think I heard he was left-handed. I read he was left-handed. Apparently his hands are too big to even play video games too. That's probably why, he's probably just stressed out. He made that one mistake, and because he couldn't play like Call of Duty or something. Okay, it's not bad. I think it's mostly even. Remember, we're going for acceptable. I'm getting paint all over my swim shoes that are randomly, my swim shoes are just randomly in the paint cave. It's like, why are my swim shoes in the paint cave? Who's been rearranging the paint cave? Someone must have had too much Carlo or some Snoop Dogg, Cali Red. Someone must have had too much of that and came down and took there we go, wait, see? Okay, see, it almost looks like headphones. It's kind of cool in a way, but it's not exactly. But that's the point again, it's not exactly what we're going for. So this is basically the last we're going to usually agree with this one. This is dark as night. I really should have used a different little rinse things. Soapy water rinse cup for the black one, because that's okay. These are new brushes actually. I went and splurged. I told you though, it's still saving up for the lavalier. It's getting here. I'm telling you, the next, maybe like season 2 or something, really liven up the place. Oh man, see, I'm knocking. See, this is a little secret. I'll tell you, look at that. Look at that. That's what fell over, see? He's mad. We're talking about his mistakes. Well, I'm just saying, just, because I know people like to hate watch. They're probably sitting there huffing and puffing. Maybe for a number of reasons, but I don't know those reasons. Those reasons shall remain nameless. Okay, so the bottom one, it has, yeah, we can get down there. We can just go ahead and do this bottom one real quick. So, we're just moving around. Yeah, so there's a blue one that goes real close, and then there's the pink one. I almost feel like I should do the pink or the blue second, but it's okay. We'll just get it right in between the bottom and the green. Okay, so yeah, just right there. Trying to figure out how to move these paints along without getting. I get a little too crazy there on that first, the first stroke, and it gets kind of like squirts out the side, oozes. It's more oozy. It's more oozy than squirty, so definitely have to learn to work with these. They are superior paints, so I guess they require a superior touch, which I have not. Yeah, but Suburban Commando, I really want to watch that one again now. I'm just thinking about that one. It has one of the funniest lines. It has a very classic line delivered by the guy who played Doc Brown in the Back to the Future film series. Can't remember his name for the life of me, but he played like an angel in Angels in the Outfield too. Not part 2, but as well. They never did a sequel. Actually, I think they did do a sequel to Angels in the Outfield, but it was like straight to DVD. I think it had like Joe Montana. I think he might have played some kind of mobster angel or something. He was running the team behind the scenes. I don't know, this is all maybe a fever dream. But yeah, Doc Brown from Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. And the Universal ride. I don't know if he's still in that. Oh man, I got some green on there somehow. That's weird. Ooh, I don't know. Peanut Butter, did you do that? Did you do that? So, this thing got really out of hand because it requires a very, very deft punk touch. Like straight line work is pretty difficult. That's why you see mostly sort of nature stuff, because there's no straight lines really. I'm choosing some difficult tasks here. See, this stuff's very thick, and if you've seen any of the previous episodes, you know how I get with this paint. It's like you have to fight not to get globular with this one. Before it just sort of felt natural being globular, but this really gotta be judicious with your strokes. That's why I tell the kids in the hood, they gotta be judicious with their strokes. You gotta be careful out there. You never know who, you don't want to end up with something that you don't want. And you end up with calls late in the night. Prank calls, you don't want those. Okay, so it's about as straight as we can get with that sucker, so. Yeah, I guess I used like way too much. But we're gonna need it for letters, which are pretty sizable. Alright, so just wanna make sure, yes, perfect. This is pretty straightforward, but as I go, I'm trying to make sure how far these lines go in. See, these lines are gonna be tight. They were supposed to be, this one's supposed to be necessarily as low, but we'll just come in tight. See, it's a little easier when you're not on your knees. Things go a little smoother. Although I think I am getting better at the application of this incredibly thick paint. There we go. So, yeah, I was getting off track because it's like in Suburban Commando, Christopher Lloyd. Got it. I remembered it. See? Just wait until I remembered the old man's name. I need to remember his name before I talked about it. So he was like, you know, it's like, well, first of all, if you don't know Suburban Commando, it's like, it doesn't exactly sound, or you may not think, you know, Suburban Commando is like Arnold Schwarzenegger in the suburbs. You probably would think that. You probably think this would be a comedy vehicle for, if that's, I think that's what they call them, vehicles, comedy vehicles, movies, whatever, that would be perfect for Arnold to flex maybe some comedic muscle. It would have been way better than Twins. I don't know what he was thinking with Twins. But Suburban Commando is like Hulk Hogan plays intergalactic bounty hunter, and he gets stranded on Earth. And of course, you know, it's like hijinks ensue, fish out of water. Eventually they have some kind of encounter, I think. It's like Christopher Lloyd and Hulk Hogan. I actually can't even remember. That's why I really want to watch it. I hope it's free on Prime right now or something. Because every time it's like you think of a movie and you're like, dang, I want to watch that. It's got to be on one of the 7 streaming services I have. And it's like, once you know it, nope. It's on like Voodoo. Like, what's the Voodoo that you do? Well, apparently it's Suburban Commando, because you think that would be on Freebie or something. I don't know. What's Crackle? One of those. Or free on YouTube with ads or something. But so he crash lands. He's stranded. Well, he doesn't crash land. He actually runs out of like fuel, and I think he runs out of fuel, and it just so happens that Christopher Lloyd works at this place where they mine gemstones or something, and he needs some kind of dilithium crystal or something to get back to Zordon. They always make up, some of these low-budget sci-fi stuff, they have the dumbest names for things, though. These lines have gone really well, and I'm just trying to, you know, make sure the integrity of this stays intact. I feel like I'm on a real roll here, so that's good. It's good. Booyaka 619. So this guy, it's Suburban Commando at this point, I guess, but he's an intergalactic bounty hunter, and somehow he knows the concept of seeking out a roommate or something, because he enters an ad. Well, because Christopher Lloyd, his wife is Shelley Duvall, and she's actually pretty cute in this one. It was nice to see her not stressed out like in The Shining. Because, man, that girl had a heart in The Shining. I've seen the behind the scenes. Her hair was falling out and stuff. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do it like this. It does say excellent coverage for this light magenta, and I'm very pleased with its truthfulness. So you gotta be careful. Sometimes you start seeing it go real good, and then you go a little too fast, and then the light magenta is everywhere. So Hulk Hogan moves in with Christopher Lloyd and Shelley Duvall, and of course they make a big joke about how the bed breaks, and he's too heavy for the bed, and more hijinks ensue. So I'm really set on making these lines good, because, like I said, we went down the rails with this one a little bit. I'm actually way more impressed with that line, but it's pretty good. Sorry, get that filled in at the end there. But yeah, so he moves in. You know, Hulk Hogan's living with Christopher Lloyd and Shelley Duvall, See how much longer? Man, you can really tell the difference there. That's okay. It's cool. I like it. It's, you know, it's. If it was perfect, it wouldn't. It would just. This should be called perfect painting. It's not. It's not. It's not. I feel like I was able to. Well, there's more coverage. I'm getting better globs. As you can see, it seems like things are kind of. Business is picking up here with the ability to lay this on. See, sometimes though, this stuff is really freaking thick. Down with the thickness, I said. I like to get down with the thickness, but not when you're trying to do like lines. When you're trying to do lines, you don't want thick. It's too much. Alright, that's good, I think. So yes, Suburban Commando, she's hijinks ensue. That's not what I wanted to do, but maybe I could scrape that. Sometimes you can scrape the paint off pretty efficiently. It didn't go so well, but got plenty of black paint in there. Once that dries, I'll just go over it. Just to make it a little tighter, you know. This is very painstaking. I'm making this harder by, what am I doing? What am I doing? Alright, so, it's fine. It's fine. See, what's made me nervous is this green is still wet. That's fine. Gives me a path to follow here. Bring some of that globbiness over there. Okay, so obviously that was a much better attempt, the first one. But that's because I could really lay my hand in there, you know. These could have went a little higher, those second ones. But you know, it's basically that's the whole essence of this thing. So we're gonna have to wait to go back to the light magenta. But I'm gonna go ahead and wash this brush. I'm gonna step back, see where we're at. Yeah, well, you know, that's what happens if you don't measure. That's what happens when you don't measure things. But this is bare bones, folks. We're trying to do this like, you know, that was the idea of the first one, but man, this would have ended up being like 4 hours probably instead of 2. And this one we were gonna start blank, but then we had production issues. And by the way, this one will be replaced. This area will be replaced by the previous episode's painting. We've got the set colorful. We've got the overpaints on that. So now we're gonna do. There's basically just one blue line down there. And then we'll do dots. But we're gonna call this, basically, we're gonna start wrapping up here for the end of part 1. Things we need a little bit more drying. It's no fun to watch that. And this stuff is so thick. Alright, so put that blue line right in here. Going on real nice. I've learned a sense of control here. Gotta start off with, you're gonna be smart with how much paint you put on the tip. I mean, it's very tempting to just go the whole way. Of course, you could easily just lay this down and just do one of those gel frickin' squirt bottle things and There we go. It's not the same though. If you don't, you want to see some labor, some real labor put into this. Some real sacrifice. I mean, I'm on my knees, folks. I have no knee pads. The carpet is not very new. The padding underneath is worn. I think it's at least 25 years old. My knees are, they're not necessarily being pampered at this point in time. So it's really great coverage though, this blue. And the colors are just fantastic. Thank you, Richard. At the store that shall remain nameless, but there is a number that you could probably surmise that this gentleman helps me at. I said, I want to do this John Cena thing. He said, I know exactly where to point you. And I said, well, thank you, sir. I shall be on my day. I am going to get some teriyaki madness. Because the line at the place where I got the frickin' paint was, let's just say they are understaffed. It's very, very understaffed. This has got such good coverage. I could keep going, and I don't do it. I've been hesitating. It seems like it's affecting the line work here. So, see how far that went? Ooh. There we go. It goes a little bit down, but see, apparently that's what your hand kind of naturally does. Apparently, so this is very natural. This is sort of an organic style. That's what I'm gonna call. That's my style. It's called organic. So, as you can see, look how thick those suckers are. I'm gonna fix that smudge when it's dry. So yeah, we do got some drying to do. But basically, it's essentially done. We just gotta we're gonna do these dots. It's gonna be blue, like it's blue, green, blue. So it's a total of 5 dots, and then some blue and some pink lines or light magenta, and then some more dots. Same thing over here, and then, see, we're gonna try to do this 2 parts. That should be able to be done in 2 parts because we'll do the same. You can't see me. Ching, ching, ching. Boom. That's what's gonna happen. That's what's gonna happen. So, basically, wait, is that, I'm just trying to see that color. See, brilliant blue, light magenta, and that's a light olive green. Yes, light olive green. Again, reminds me of G.I. Joe's. Or something, oh man, see? That reminded me, though, to wash my brush. Always wash your brushes, folks. Don't let that paint get stuck on there because, well, you just gotta throw them away at that point. I learned from that mistake. I had this brush, it was encased and mummified in yellow paint, and, well, I tried to save it, but I lost a lot of bristles. So let's step back. What do you think, peanut butter? See, I like it a lot. So, this was probably the length of a short horror movie. Hopefully it wasn't horrible to you. But, second part, John Cena episode. You can't see me. You can't see me. You can't see him. That's the joke. It's not real. Don't buy into it. They're being facetious. Just like with the camouflage jokes that you see online, the camouflage memes. So, my calf's killing me. I'm so worried that I'm too high so I keep freaking crouching. Anyway, not crouching, but crouching. So as you can see, it's moving right along. I can't wait to get this finished with you folks. So remember, the theme, happiness never decreases from being shared. So, come back and watch episode 2 of part 4, the John Cena episode. Oops, see, I was supposed to say John Cena. It's Juan's deer. It's okay. Well, John probably has lots of deers, remember. All right, we'll see you soon.